Hello everyone. Good morning and welcome back to my channel Learn English. My name is Mrs. Sheetal Jain Pillai and today I'll be presenting lesson number 1.2, The Thief's Story, written and narrated by Ruskin Bond, who is an Indian author of British descent. The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond, is a simple plot with layers of subtle human emotions. This story is written in first person, and the story advocates the power of love and kindness in reforming a thief. The story successfully establishes the fact that love, compassion, and kindness have the potential to turn a thief around and reform him. The story takes place between two individuals named Hari and Anil, and it shows the importance of love and compassion shown by Anil towards Hari, which makes him a reformed person. So students, please stay tuned while we read the story, The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. Warming up, read the following incident. Lokesh had always been a class topper in tests and examinations. However, invariably he used foul means during exams to gain those high marks. Once on the day of history examination, Lokesh realized that his classmates and friend Farhan came all prepared for maths instead of history. Farhan had become desperate, so Lokesh offered him to copy from his answer sheet since Farhan sat just behind him. Farhan refused. He said, "It's all right even if I get a zero, but I can call it my own zero. I do not want to score a single mark unearned. Cheating in exams is for cowards, not me." These words were a turning point in Lokesh's life. He gave up cheating forever, he worked hard for what he desired, and never ever used foul measures to acquire anything. In the story given, which words or phrases can be replaced by the following ones? The meaning of the words are already given point-wise from point number 1 to 7. We need to replace that word which is already in the incident of the story. For example, become aware is realized, always means invariably, very upset and helpless means desperate, cheating means foul means, without working for it is unearned, a sudden change is turning point, gain or achieve means acquire. The answers are given in the orange box. Students are requested to write the answers directly in their textbook. Question B. Students need to summarize the incident in 6 to 8 lines, making Lokesh the narrator. This is the self activity which the students need to do on their own. Students need to begin with, "I was a class topper." Since Lokesh is the narrator, we need to use I. However, I used foul means during exams to gain those marks. Once on the day of history examination, I realized my friend and classmate Farhan had come prepared for mathematics instead of history. Seeing his anxiety, I offered to help him by allowing him to copy from my answer sheet as he sat just behind me. The first paragraph has been told to the students. Students need to write the second paragraph, summarize it in their own words, making Lokesh the narrator. Introducing you to the author and narrator of the story, The Thief's Story. Ruskin Bond, who was born on May 19, 1934, is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in the year 1992 for his story Our Trees Still Grow in Dera, which is published in English, and also awarded Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan in the years 1999 and 2014 respectively. Introducing you to the lesson, The Thief's Story. There are two characters in this story. Character 1 is the narrator, who is a thief, and his name is Hari. Hari is his pretend name because he used to take up new names every time he went to a new place. The second character in the story is Anil. Anil is a simple, easygoing man who employs Hari as a cook in Anil's house. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. So it is Hari who explains and narrates the story to the audience and says that he was a thief when he met his future employer Anil, and he said that he was only 15 years old, but he was an experienced and successful thief. The word I here refers to Hari, who is the narrator of the story. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. So, Hari describes Anil as tall, lean, easygoing, kind, and simple, and because he hadn't had much luck, Hari didn't have much luck into stealing, and that is why he wanted to win Anil's confidence. To which Hari says, "You look a bit of a wrestler yourself. A little flattery helps in making friends," is what Hari thought. To which Anil replies, "So do you," which puts Hari off for a moment because at that time Hari was very thin. "Well," I said modestly, "I do wrestle a bit." Anil asks Hari, "What's your name?" "Hari Singh," I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. "Hello again," he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. "I want to work for you," I said. To which Anil said, "But I can't pay you." I thought that for over a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. The story continues. Hari asks Anil, "Can you feed me?" Anil asks Hari, "Can you cook?" Hari lies to Anil saying, "Yes, I can cook." "If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you." He took me to his room over the Jamuna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. Later he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Anil made money by fits and starts, which means by irregular intervals. He would borrow one week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. So in this slide, we can understand that Anil did a lot of favors to Hari by teaching him how to cook, by teaching him to write his name, by teaching him to write whole sentences and to add numbers. So one evening when Anil came back home, he came back home with a small bundle of notes as he had sold a book to a publisher. He kept the money under the mattress. Hari and Anil were both working together for almost a month and, apart from cheating on the groceries, Hari had not done anything extraordinary in his line of work. Hari had every other opportunity for doing so because Anil had lended him a spare key to the door and Hari could come and go as he pleased. Anil was the most trusted person according to Hari. That is why it was very difficult to rob Anil of his money. According to Hari, it is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it is very difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes the careless man doesn't even notice he's been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Well, it's time Hari did some real work as he feared that he would go out of practice. Hari thought that if I don't steal the money, Anil will just waste it on his friends. After all, Anil doesn't even pay me. When Anil was fast asleep, Hari sat on the floor considering the entire situation. He thought that if he takes the money, he could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. He slipped out of the blanket and crawled towards the bed. He found Anil sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and without any anxiety. Hari slid his hand under the mattress, searching for the money. When he found them, he drew them out without making sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on towards Hari. Hari was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. The moment he got the money, he was on the road. He began to run. He had the notes tied to his waist by a string attached to his pyjamas. Soon he slowed down and began to walk, and while walking, he started counting the notes. It was 600 rupees in fifties. He thought to himself that he could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Hari soon reached the station, but he did not bother to buy a ticket. He had never bought a ticket in his entire life, so he dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and Hari should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. However, he hesitated. For some reason, the reason he can't explain. He was losing his chance of a lifetime to run away. Soon the train left the platform, and Hari found himself standing alone on the deserted platform. He had no idea where to spend the night. He had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. He did not want to stay in any of the hotels because he did not want anybody to be curious about his staying. The only person Hari really knew was the man he had robbed, that is Anil. So leaving the station, he slowly walked through the bazaar. In Hari's short career as a thief, he had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But he knew that Anil's face, when discovered about the robbery, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Hari approached a maidan and sat down on a bench for a while. The night was cold, as it was early November. There was a slight drizzle, which added to Hari's discomfort. Soon it started raining quite heavily. Hari's shirt and pyjamas stuck to his skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across his face. So he walked towards the bazaar and sat under the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight, and because of the rain, the notes were damp. Anil's money. Hari thought that in the morning Anil would probably have given him 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema, but now Hari has it all. Hari thought that now he wouldn't be able to cook any meals. He wouldn't be able to run to the bazaar to get the daily supplies. He wouldn't be able to learn or write whole sentences anymore. Hari had forgotten about all these positives in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences. Hari knew that one day the whole sentence would bring him few hundred rupees. It was simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a real big man, a clever and a respected man, was something else. He thought to himself that he should go back to Anil, only to read and write. He started walking in a hurried way, reaching his room, feeling very nervous, for it was easier to steal something than to return it undetected. Hari opened the door quietly and stood in the doorway in the clouded moonlight. Anil was still sleeping. Hari crept to the head of the bed and kept the notes from where he had taken it. Hari could feel the breath of Anil on his hands. He remained still for a minute. Hari found his hand at the edge of the mattress and slipped away with the notes. Coming to the concluding paragraphs, I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50-rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. Hari thought that Anil found out about the theft and robbery, and that is why Hari was very depressed. Anil said, I made some money yesterday and now you'll be paid regularly. Listening to that, Hari's spirits rose. But when he took the note, he saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Anil said, "Today we'll start writing sentences." He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself, without any effort. Ruskin Bond. So the moral of the story is love and compassion and kindness have the potential to change a criminal to a gentleman. So here in this story, Anil knew about the theft. However, he did not find it necessary to show it to Hari, nor he found it necessary to complain about Hari to the police. And that is why Hari smiled in a most genuine and appealing way without any effort, because he knew that he was doing a wrong thing. However, he realized it, he came back, and he started staying with Anil again, only and only because of Anil's love, compassion, and kindness towards him. So, the best way to get rich is by doing good, by being honest, by hard work, and not the ways Hari had. So, thank you everyone for listening to the story. We will be discussing the question answers in our next slide. Let's discuss question number 1 from the English workshop is complete the web diagram with Anil's virtues and Hari's vices. After reading the lesson, we can conclude that Anil was helpful, compassionate, loving, kind-hearted and helpful, whereas Hari was an opportunist, a robber, he was deceitful, and he was also a liar. What are collocations? Collocations are words or partnership of words that are commonly used together by native speakers. So in simple terms, collocation is word plus word is equal to collocation. For example, strong tea, stiff wind. Students need to find out few more examples from the text and fill in the blanks with correct collocation. A collocation is different from compound words. Compound words is explained in detail in the next slide. Dash dog, stray dog. Second one, careless man. Ticket officer. Walked slowly. Light drizzle. Whole sentence. My spirits rose. There are few more examples of collocation with the word time. For example, take your time, tell time, waste time, pass the time, over time, kill time. All these are examples of collocation with the word time. Question number 2 from the English workshop. Insert the appropriate word or phrase given below in the sentence that follow. There are few words given in the bracket. Students must pick out the most appropriate word and form meaningful sentence. A. I dashed the school gate when I heard the school bell ring. After the death of my pet dog, my spirit rose when Dad got me a new pup. Do not stoop to flattery just to gain something from someone. The artist completes his paintings by fits and starts. The crime went undetected for 11 years. The last one. When the baby saw its mother, it gave an appealing smile. What are compound words? In simple terms, we can define compound words as two or more words usually combined together to form a new meaning. For example, sea, food gives us seafood. There are three types of compound word. First one with spaces, example, swimming pool. Without spaces, for example, lifespan. The third one is with hyphens, for example, merry-go-round. The compound words are different from collocations. The example of compound words from the story are oil rich, 50 rupee, easy going, clock tower, moonlight. What is code mixing? Code mixing is nothing but borrowing words from some other language. It involves the blending of non-dominant language words or phrases with the dominant language. For example, there are three pictures given in this slide. Pani puri, there is no other alternative English word for pani puri and vada pav. Therefore, the same words are used in any of the languages. Similarly, with bazaar, maidan and pajamas, there is no alternative English word. Therefore, words from the other language are borrowed and blended to form words or phrases in English. The examples of code mixing from the story are bazaar, maidan and pajamas. Complete the given sentences. Anil kept Hari as a cook because Hari needed a job and Anil thought he would be able to teach Hari to read and write in return for the food that Hari would cook for him. Hari was grateful because Anil taught him to cook and write his name. Hari continued making money by making small profits every day while Anil gave him money to shop for groceries and other daily supplies. Anil didn't hand Hari over to the police because Anil believed that kindness and compassion would change Hari. The moral of the story is love, kindness and trust have the power to change a criminal into a gentleman. Let's discuss the character sketch of Hari Singh with the help of following points using the paragraph format. So Hari was a seasoned small-time thief who comes across as a manipulative young boy who has cheated his former employees and tries to escape from the police every now and then. He takes up new names to elude himself from the police. He has a perfect modus operandi to steal money, and he is the perfect example of the proverb, old habits die hard. Although he meets a trusting employer, Anil, he doesn't hesitate to rob his money by making small profits of a rupee daily while buying groceries. He robs Anil of his money and runs away. However, deep down he has the eagerness to learn, to read and to write, which brings him back to Anil. He tries hard but cannot bring himself to betray Anil's trust and run away with his money. He also misses the conversation with Anil and his friendship with him, which comes across as more valuable to him than the money he steals. He is grateful to Anil for bringing about changes in him by educating him. He is courageous enough to change himself by returning to Anil, knowing very well that if Anil discovers about the robbery, he could get him arrested. Perhaps these are the qualities what make him appear more human than criminal in our eyes, and we feel happy to see him reformed in the end. Framing WH questions. Where? We use where when we are asking in or at what place or position. I hurried back to the room. Where did you hurry back? Question number 2. We need to ask what for anything specific. So the question for the second sentence is, what study did you make? How? How is used for asking for a way. How did you draw them out? I drew them out without a sound. Who is used to ask about a person? Who showed acceptance? The answer is the poor man. When is used to ask about time, occasion, or moment. I made tea in the morning. The question is, when did you make tea? So this is a conversation between Anil and Hari, imagining that Anil catches Hari red-handed when Hari is stealing the money from under the mattress. This is a short dialogue composed which reflects Anil's shock and Hari's repeated apologies. So Hari, thinking to himself, I must hurry in order to catch the Lucknow Express. Hari checks if Anil is asleep and then slides his arm under the mattress. Anil is alarmed with the disturbance caused by Hari and asks Hari angrily, what are you doing? Hari is nervous and says, no, nothing at all. I was just checking for something under the cot. Anil, startled, I can't believe my eyes, Hari. You were stealing my money. Anil continues, all this while I trusted you blindly. And this is how you break a person's trust? I am shaken badly. I thought you were a changed man. But I guess I was wrong. Hari apologetically says, no sir, I am sorry. I didn't mean to betray you. Anil says, how ungrateful can you be? I am shocked. More than that, I am hurt. I never imagined that you could pay me back like this after all the things that I did for you. Hari says, please forgive me. I promise this would not happen again. Anil says, I learnt my lesson today and I know that old habits die hard. I can never ever trust you again. So both Anil and Hari are shaken. Anil is angry while Hari is sobbing, asking for forgiveness. So this brings us to the end of the lesson, The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. Students are advised to complete their English workshop exercises in the textbook itself. And for those who haven't subscribed to my channel, are advised to do so and also click the bell icon to stay updated. That's all from me. This is me, Mrs. Sheetal Jain Pillai, signing off. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.